Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Alexis, and on this channel I cover viral topics. I write down important keynotes or just lessons that I learned from viral topics or public figures, and I come on camera and speak my truth and share it with you all. The person on the chopping block today is no one else but yours truly, Sean Combs, aka P Diddy. So everything pretty much started on November 16 when his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed a 35-page lawsuit where she detailed a lot of the abuses that she went through while dating P Diddy in the span of 10 years, I believe. So the lawsuit included trafficking, assault, among so many other things. The lawsuit shocked a lot of people, even though Sean Combs himself have had numerous rumors about the same thing that were in this lawsuit over the years. This was the first time someone took actual legal action, and it wasn't just a rumor. So this really shocked a lot of people. Ever since that day, P Diddy hasn't had many sunny days. He has been facing a lot of other lawsuits, and there has been a lot of scandals surrounding him and a lot of the people who are associated with him. If you're going to proceed with watching this video, please understand that this is not a video about Sean Combs' public image or any summary of what has been happening in his life as of lately. I just wanted to talk about important lessons that I've learned from this entire situation that I really think a lot of people are not mentioning or talking about. So let's get into today's topic, shall we? For number one, I would say the root of all evil is not money, it's actually greed. I think there's a quote that states that money is the root of all evil, if I'm not mistaken. This is more about him not paying his artist and about how many people he has exploited. It has been rumors for years that he really exploits his artists and doesn't pay anybody. If those artists of his could vouch for him being a fair boss or manager, I'm pretty sure that would have really helped his image today, regardless of what he was already going through. He seems very shady and he doesn't pay his artists. And that's not necessarily the money's fault. It's basically his greed. So money is not really the root of all evil. If everybody was just learning how to pay employees right, the issue is greed. Money is not necessarily the problem. The issue is greed and how much people are thirsty for money and what they're willing to do or not do in order to gain wealth while enslaving other people like he did his artist. My next takeaway from this whole situation with Diddy is that the best manipulators abuse you in a way that is hard to explain. We saw reality TV shows where he was very abusive to people on there, and people will still not believe that he was a horrible person. We saw him being horrible to his artists on TV. We thought it was just a TV thing. Maybe he was just doing that for the show. But it turns out he was really that person. The thing about a lot of abusers and manipulators is that they put their victims through things that might not even be hard to explain, but that is so crazy that it's just easier to just keep living life without ever speaking your truth. Because it's so hard to have to explain your story to people, especially when it's so unbelievable sometimes. Because again, Cassie's lawsuit, if you haven't read it, please go ahead and read it. It's some of the most unimaginable things in that lawsuit. It's like a level of abuse that even you yourself cannot comprehend. A level of abuse that pretty much keep your body frozen for a while or just makes you very cold. And I'm really glad that there's such a shift right now that people are capable of opening up about some of the things that happen to them. If you don't even understand your abuse, how do you explain it to somebody else? That's definitely how he was winning over people. by just abusing them in such a way that they themselves did not understand, so they could not proceed to explain it to others. Next, I wrote down that power is more important than money. Someone like Diddy, someone like Jay-Z, they have all this money in the world, but it seems like they don't even own your wealth sometimes, based on the way they move. Because, for example, even Jay-Z was at the Grammys and he was talking about how some people did not deserve to be on the nomination list for the best album because he thought his wife should have won.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. Some of you don't belong in the category. Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
But as a billionaire, why can't you just go build your own Grammys and have your wife win every single category? I mean, if money was power, wouldn't someone like Jay-Z been able to do whatever he wants? But every time I see him, he's like sucking up to the NFL people or just trying to fit in with somebody else. That's basically what they're doing, all of these billionaires, especially in the music industry. I really don't believe that money means power. I think it's capable to be powerful and acquire wealth, but I don't necessarily think it goes the other way around. Diddy has all the money in the world, but it turns out he didn't even own his liquor company. Like the liquor brand that his name was attached to, the Ciroc and Dion, I think that's what that is. It turns out he doesn't even own it. So he's a billionaire with no power because he doesn't own stuff. So you can have the money, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have the power. But if you have the power, then you have enough power to take the money if need be. Next, I would say we really need to question everything we see. As people, as the general public, it is very important to question everything you see. Ask yourself why things are being put to your face. Understand that people do things for their own benefit, and especially people in power and corporations and the people who are behind the scenes, who are telling our favorite powerful people, entertainers, what to do and say. Everybody have their own agenda. We have to always question how something is working for us before we just embrace it. We have to question if something is really for us before we embrace it. A lot of people look up to people like Jay-Z or P Diddy. A lot of things that are happening behind closed doors, a lot of things that they have done behind closed doors is not coming to light. So you have to sometimes wonder, why is it that they promote the things that they promote? I think it's always important to question everything you see, to question everything that is being said to you, to question everything that is being thrown at you. Your favorite artist, question your favorite YouTuber, or question every book you read, and ask yourself, what was the motive behind it? What exactly is it supposed to change? Why is this being pushed at you? You have people like Diddy who have all these skeletons in his closet. He's the reason why so many people, especially black people, want to thrive to be successful. But is this what it's going to take to be successful? Is there somebody behind the scenes pulling strings to make sure that other people fall in this trap? Was he trapped? And I'm not making excuses for him, but what is going on? Like, who's making these people? Who's giving all these people platforms, and why? And why are some of the people who didn't make it out of the picture? Like, what happened? That's how this whole situation makes me feel. It just makes me question everything that I'm looking at, everything that I hear, everything that I am exposed to. It makes me question everything. Another keynote that I took from this whole situation is that I think the issue with people like Diddy or Jay-Z or just people in power in general, well, especially within the black community, but that's another video for another day, is that there is a huge desire to fit in with the upper echelons and the people in power. They want to fit in so bad that they will sacrifice your mom if they have to. I think one of his main goals was just to fit in to a society that he never knew was capable to even attain. And the more he was asked to do, the more power he was getting, the more he was willing to do things to get to a certain level. I'm not excusing any of his behavior, like he just did it for someone else, because he's a man and he has a mind of his own. But there has been a lot of rumors that people in power have to do a lot of shady things to gain power and to stay in power, including some very spiritual things that we ourselves as regular people will see as abnormal. A lot of people like Diddy did not come into the world with any kind of power or any kind of influence. So a way for him to pretty much gain his power back is to get to a level where he thought he never had access to, maybe because of his ethnicity or the color of his skin or etc. So at this point, he's willing to do everything to get there. That's how I look at him. Like, again, I'm not making excuses for the man. Like, he's responsible for his own actions, but he does things to fit in and for people to look up to him. His motivation is how influential he is. The next is to never underestimate anyone. I think Diddy really underestimated Cassie and her ability to go file that lawsuit. He underestimated Cassie's strength. I heard that he knew about the lawsuit. Maybe he didn't know everything that was in the lawsuit. I don't know how he would know that those things were coming out, and he didn't do a press run, and I mean a real one, trying to fix his image before the lawsuit even dropped. Never underestimate anyone. Always treat people with kindness, because it would be the person that you least suspect that would have the courage to take you down. And they would have that strength because they probably have been behind the scenes building up that courage while you were ignoring them because you were taking them for granted. Never underestimate anybody's ability to come for you or to take you down. Even if you're a good person, never underestimate anybody. And I think P Diddy thought his money was just gonna help him get away with stuff, and his ex-girlfriend, who barely ever talks, is the one who opened the floodgates of this madness going on around his name right now. So yeah, jokes on him. The next, Mr. Combs wasn't doing all of this madness by himself. He had a lot of assistance. He had a lot of people who supported him. He had a lot of people who had his back. He had a lot of people who protected him. There's still a lot of people who know things about him but just don't want to say anything. It took a whole village to keep this crime going. Even in Cassie's lawsuit, she mentioned that there were bodyguards who knew what was going on. There were assistants who knew what was going on. Now, to be fair, if victims don't want to come out and speak, you as a witness, you can be the one to out anybody's victimhood or pain. So I can understand why people might not want to speak on the behalf of a victim, but I think people need to understand that it's not just Diddy because he's the face of the lawsuits and the crimes. His entire entourage also needs to be looked at. Even all of these bodyguards and all of these people who are not coming out and saying that his victims are right. What did she know? When did she know it? Like, how long you've been knowing that this abuse was going on? So it really takes a village to maintain all of this facade and this effery of crime ring that Diddy was allegedly, running. This right here would be my final keynote. So for this one, I want to focus on the Black community specifically. I'm not shocked, but I am, because the Cassie lawsuit came out and we had people like Nick Cannon saying,
I don't agree with the behavior, but I care for the person.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't, when you think about Diddy, like, think about all that Diddy has done for the culture.
Indeed.
Just not him as the person, or because
30 years of timeless music and moments.
Like what do we, and because we witnessed this, whether it's with R. Kelly or Bill Cosby and stuff, like what do we, as we watch it, we're watching it in real time, and we don't know how to feel because one, we don't know the truth. You know what I mean? We don't know what, and
we don't know everything.
We don't know everything. When it's revealed, it'll be revealed, and then when we are presented whatever the actual truth is, it's like, all right, well, how do we feel about what we've signed on for to be a part of that person's movement?
Right. And then people were just kind of trying to hold Cassie accountable. She could have left sooner. Why did she wait so long? She wanted to be famous, so she was selling herself. And these are the kind of things that I heard from a lot of people, especially within my community. And then somehow, the one thing that makes people want to discard Diddy is the fact that in the newest accusations that he's facing, he is said to be bi or gay. That's pretty much what's getting people riled up. And I saw some people justifying it, especially on Twitter, saying, well, it's because we've been known that Diddy was a monster for years, so we're not surprised about all the other atrocities. But he also have had gay rumors for years. So somehow, he's rumored to be the lover of a rapper named Meek Mill. That right there is getting people to want to cancel him. Out of all the horrible things, like, the man has a reputation of not paying his artists. He has a reputation of abusing women. He has a reputation of dating underage girls. He has a reputation of putting hands on women. All of that can be taken for granted until people find out that he is DL. That says a lot, you know? It says a lot. And I think every single time as a woman, you want to forget how neglected you are in this community, my community, the Black community. Something is always going to be there to remind you. And I think this is one of those things. I don't really feel relaxed anyways as a woman within the Black community, but things like this just make it very, very clear where we stand. People are more shocked about him being gay than all the horrible things that are attached to his name. Like him being gay, allegedly gay, him being allegedly gay, and him being a couple with the rapper Meek Mill actually created more jokes and more for frenzy than anything else. Yeah. I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not. So that's the Black community for you, unfortunately. Like, it's already very clear that women are so unimportant to the people of the community, but best believe the community is going to remind you of that every chance they have. Anyways, thank you if you have made it this far in the video. As always, I am very happy. I am very thrilled for those of you who are here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. Go ahead and hit the like button. It's free. Go ahead and comment and let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling. Share the video also. Very free to do so. And thank you so much for tuning in with me. Again, my name is Alexis, and I will catch you next time